GCSE history is one of the hardest subjects there is. In this video, I'm going to give you guys the best advice that helped me get a grade 9, and this is aimed for people aiming for all sorts of grades. So make sure you watch, leave a like, and subscribe. And please also everyone sign up to my email list as well to receive weekly emails. The link's going to be in the description for that. Right, let's just get straight into this then. And the first point I want to make is you can still learn key facts and key dates, okay? You've got to learn some facts and you've got to know some dates. Now, I've got my history exam on Friday and I'm still creating flashcards, okay? For my last A-level history exam, I'm resitting it, by the way, on last Friday, I learned basically, like in the 2 days before the exam, I learned 50 flashcards. So you could still learn flashcards. Don't give up on learning some facts, even if you look at it right before the exam, okay? So that is important. Next up, structure. It's very important to know how each question is structured, especially for a subject like history when you've got like 4 markers, 12 markers, or whatever different markers. There's different questions, and those questions, like the source questions, require a structure. A lot of the effort for me for history GCSE wasn't actually learning the content. I think that's not too bad. It was making sure I was good at the structure. Even if you don't know the content too much and you follow the structure, you'll get marks. So go through before the exam, how do I answer every single question or every single type of question that's going to come up, okay? Next point is ChatGPT predictions. Now, don't rely on predictions, but what I would do, and what I did do as well for A-level history, is put in, if you can, all of the past questions into ChatGPT, okay? Like the last 5 years, and say, predict what's likely to come up. Or you can look through it yourself. Your teacher might have some predictions. Don't rely on predictions, but it's useful to know what came up in the last few years because that is less likely to be tested again, okay? So don't rule it out, but it's definitely less likely. YouTube summaries are a really useful thing to do last minute as well, because basically what you want to do is go through the whole period. You want to bring it all to the top of your mind, okay? Everything, connect it all together. So try and find some summaries of the time period, okay? Maybe you're doing Cold War tomorrow. Just Google. There's loads of YouTube videos on the Cold War, okay? The whole thing. You could even watch like a 30-40 minute documentary. So YouTube summaries are going to be really useful just to kind of bring everything to the top of your mind. That's what you want to do, especially if you don't really know the content. If you don't know it at all, that's your best start, is to start broad and then sort of zoom into more specific areas, focusing on the predictions, okay? That's if you're currently really, really just trying to pass it. Now, another thing as well then is, this is a bit of a weird piece of advice, okay? So you've got to hear me out here. Songs. Now, what you can do, and what I've been suggesting recently, I've seen some students do it as well, is get ChatGPT to write a song about your topic. And I know this is weird, and obviously don't tell anyone you're doing this, but basically you can get ChatGPT to write a song, okay? So put in ChatGPT, create a song covering all of the Cold War information I need to know for GCSE EdXL, and that will create a song for you. And then you can put that song into a generator, an AI generator that actually makes the song. I'm going to link that in the description. But basically, it can make a song for you. And I know this is a really weird piece of advice that you probably haven't heard before, but listening to that music and trying to learn it like that can actually be quite useful, again, for just covering the content. Bit of a weird suggestion, but there you go. Again, in the exam, guess, right? Just don't leave anything blank. You might as well guess what it is. That's your biggest mistake, will be leaving questions blank, okay? So just don't do that, okay? I won't repeat that again, but don't guess. Don't leave it blank and just guess, okay? Again, as I said in my last history video, cats is really important. So basically, this is just a way of analysing, and it involves these words. Consequently, as a result, this means that, therefore. I started getting the top grades in history when I used that chain of analysis. In each paragraph for my 12 markers and my higher mark questions, I would use cats, okay? So if it was an explain why question, then I'd use cats to do that, and I'd say consequently this, as a result. It forces you to go a little bit further, okay? So try and use those words to show analysis, not just making basic points. Now, I hope that video was helpful, just as a quick history guide of what to do. There's still stuff you could do now. That's the big thing I want to get across as well. If you just learn the content, look at what predicted questions could come up, that's going to be really useful. As well, get a big list of potential questions, okay? A comprehensive list of all the questions you could be asked, okay, for the 12 markers, for example, and just go through them and think, if this came up, what would I put? If this came up, what would I put? That's really going to help target your vision, because it's going to reveal weaknesses. That's what we need, is to cover and stop the weaknesses, because they could come up, okay? So you could also buy on my website, I have a 51 out of 52 history paper 3, but that will show you how you write some of the questions and stuff. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Please leave a like, and please, if you have any questions as well, good luck everyone for history.